Because if you're going to ask that question when bad things happen, and you're only asking where God is when bad things happen, then you're a hypocrite.
This has the fingerprint of God all over.
How does 5,000 terrorists for 8 hours with automatic weapons equal 1,200 dead? Let me just start right now. I can't hold it in anymore. I got to tell you something.
Okay.
So we know in Jewish tradition that there's no open miracles today. We don't have the splitting of the sea and 10 plagues, right? That's what we learn. That's what we know. Okay. Iran launched 400 ballistic missiles at Israel. We saw what a ballistic missile can do when one of them hits a neighborhood in Israel. They launched 400 at us. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
How many of them hit Israel?
Maybe 20.
Out of 400, 20 hit Israel, which is
a
staggering number. But hold on.
Right. Absolutely.
That's not the punchline. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
1,000 lethal drones. 1,000. Okay. Guess how many of them impacted Israel? Zero. Not one.
Wow.
Not one out of the 1,000 drones that they launched at Israel. Not one hit Israel. Let me just tell you. Let me tell you the statistic here. This is I just came out. I'm like shaking. I don't even believe this. Okay, listen to this. Yeah. So out of 1,000 drones, less than 200 reached Israel's borders and entered Israeli airspace. However, not one of the drones impacted Israel. All were either intercepted by Israeli Air Force and Navy or fell short before reaching Israel. 1,000 drones, not one hit Israel. Dude, wow. Come on. Wow. I mean,
there's miracles. I tell people all the time. This is what I tell people. The real truth is that's just the blessing of God covering and protecting his people and making do on his promise. But I tell people all the time, if when you're not looking for God, you won't see him.
That's right.
It's only when you're looking for him, then you'll see him. But if you're not looking for him, you're not seeing him.
100%. I'll tell you even more than that. I'll tell you even more than that. Unfortunately, as we know, we all have friends and colleagues who say, where was God in the Holocaust? Where was God in October 7th? They always ask where God was when the bad things happen.
Right.
But these people are dishonest because if you're going to ask that question when bad things happen, then you got to recognize God when good things happen.
Exactly.
So when you get up in the morning and you breathe and you open your eyes, if you're going to ask where God was on October 7th, which is a legitimate question, then recognize God when you breathe oxygen in the morning. If you're not, and you're only asking where God is when bad things happen, then you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite.
Wow.
That's just dishonest. Right?
That's a powerful point. Very powerful.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm not, God forbid, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. First of all, I'm not, God forbid, belittling or diminishing the devastation of losing 24 Israelis. Okay, that's just 24 worlds, and
one is one too many. So
that's right. And maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we won't. But for your viewers and listeners, I lost my brother to terror, so nobody has to lecture me on losing someone to radical Islamic terror. I know. Okay, I get it.
Right.
I'm not belittling that. God forbid. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm not belittling or diminishing. Or not being grateful to the IDF and the Israeli Air Force and the Shabak and the Mossad. Listen, again, I served in the military. I have all the respect and admiration in the world. And, that stands alone. That's a statement that stands alone.
Right.
But you can take all of that and there's no military strategist in the world that can explain to you how they fired 1,000 drones and not one. And by the way, forget the ones that were intercepted. You know what? Fine. The Iron Dome, David Sling, the Arrow system, amazing, miraculous systems. I'm going to give them credit. So the ones that they intercepted and detonated, great. What about the other ones? Where'd they fall? They didn't make it into Israeli airspace. These are sophisticated weapons. They didn't, and the ones that came into Israeli airspace, where did they land in empty spaces? And us normal people, we landed in an empty space. All right, Iran fires a ballistic missile or a rocket or a drone, and it does not kill 50 Israelis. We should stop what we're doing and scream at the top of our lungs, Hashem, I don't know what I did to deserve this, but thank you every single time. Literally every time.
Absolutely.
Dude, 1,000 drones, zero impacted Israel.
Right.
This is the splitting of the sea. Don't tell me there's no open miracles. This is the splitting of the sea.
It's crazy because out of everything, not only should people see it, but who should really see it is our enemies. Our enemies are saying that. One of the things that I've been saying that since this has happened and the way that it happened, and I explained this to my kids in the bomb shelter because we're sleeping in there and we got to see, full on fireworks, for lack of a better term. However, but one of the things I told them, I said that as beautiful as this operation has been and as mind boggling as it will, and people will study this from a secular standpoint from years to come, but the people in the region, what people don't understand is that I think, and this is my feeling, that the people that are here in this region, because religion still exists in this region, right? They starting to see this as the hand of God. They are starting to witness that this is, and whatever they believed in, whatever they thought up until this point, that the protection of God over the Jewish people is alive and in effect, and he's not sleeping. As it says in the prophets, that the word of Hashem goes out and it will not return back to him void. It will not come back to him empty and not void at any time. God is great. His mercy endures forever. This has the fingerprint of God all over. And my hope is that in the West they'll start to see. That's the question. Like, will the West start to see what's actually going on here? That this is bigger than just what's going on militarily. This is actually the hand of God. That's my real question.
100%. By the way, do you know, you heard about this, I'm assuming, about the Hebrew date? It's the day that in Megillas Esther. You didn't hear this?
No, I did not hear this.
I think it's the 23rd day of Sivan. I want to get this accurate. So let me just actually read this so I don't make any mistakes here, because this is just, it's mind blowing stuff. Like, there's no, like, I don't know how you can explain this. I'm reading word for word. Tomorrow is the 23rd day of the month of Sivan in the Hebrew calendar, and it's worth noting given Israel's war with Iran. Why? I'll explain. According to the Purim story, Haman convinced King Ahasuerus to sign off on the decree to destroy, kill, and annihilate all the Jews from young to old, infants and women in one day. But as Jewish tradition goes, on the 23rd of Sivan, at Ahasuerus' instruction, the Jewish Queen Esther and Mordechai drafted a royal decree giving Jews under the king's rule permission to rise up and kill those who had allied with Haman to kill them. And they did just that, saving themselves from annihilation. Where did this take place? Persia, Iran. So, listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Like you said in the beginning, if you don't want to see God, you'd be like, oh, that's a nice coincidence. Okay, you can say that. But now here's the thing. Can we get a little controversial here?
Yes, please do. Please do. As long as it's the truth, we can do it.
Okay, October 7th. All right. Horrible, devastating, terrible, dark day in our history. No question about that. What I'm about to say does not negate that. Okay, that's just a fact. All right. Okay. But just imagine the following conversation. Okay, 50 years from now, my kid or my grandkid speaking to his grandkid or whatever, and saying to him, "Listen, we were in a synagogue on a day called Simchas Torah, and we were dancing around, and middle of our prayers, 5,000 genocidal terrorists march into a country smaller than New Jersey. 5,000 terrorists. Okay, now." We don't yet know why they had 8 hours to do whatever they did. That's a different discussion. But they had 8 hours, okay? 5,000 terrorists, 8 hours, with unlimited access to automatic weapons, only killed 1,200 people. How does 5,000 terrorists for 8 hours with automatic weapons equal 1,200 dead? It makes zero sense. Now, let me just, again, give a disclaimer. Okay. God forbid, am I saying that 1,200 is not a devastating?
It's a significant number, and it hurt everybody. And I think even more so, what kept us from being able to see what a miracle it was the pain itself, right?
You cannot dispute this. I mean, unless you just want to lie to yourself, right? So I interviewed Dr. Danny Gold, who invented the Iron Dome. Okay, he's not a religious man at all. Right. He told me that when he thought of this idea, everyone, and I mean the Israeli government, the Israeli military, the State Department, the U.S. military, the world's leading military strategists said you cannot build a system that detonates rockets midair. It is physics. It doesn't work. It's impossible. There's no way. Don't waste your time. And here we have a system that detonates rockets at over 90% precision. But here's the thing. It doesn't end there. These are, again, open miracles, because the Iron Dome in and of itself is an ananei hakavod. It's a clouds of glory over our heads. God is literally putting a dome over our heads. But here's the thing. The Iron Dome is amazing. You know what else is amazing? David's sling. David's sling is also amazing. You know what else is amazing? The arrow system. The arrow system. Just take the arrow system. This detonates ballistic missiles outside of Earth's atmosphere. Do you understand? It's just okay. So here's the thing. Each one of those three things, in and of itself, is a technological wonder, aka a miracle. But they were not built. Listen to this. They were not built to work together. At any point, the people who built these things never built them to work together. Those 2 nights when Iran attacked Israel back, whatever it was, a year ago, and we detonated 99% of the missiles and drones they fired at us using those 3 systems that work together in unison to perfection. This is literally Hashem splitting the sea before our eyes. These systems, and by the way, that's not me saying it. Go watch the YouTube interviews of the people who conducted those operations. They'll tell you They did. They said it. These systems were not built to work together. We don't know how it works. They work perfection. Like, so, that's miracles. And then the empty spaces is miracles. And you know what else is a miracle? You know what else is a miracle?
What else?
Because Hashem doesn't do bad. We know that, right?
Right.
So when we look at the anti-Semitism around the world, we're like, it's so upsetting, and it is upsetting. You know what? The anti-Semitism around the world is a miracle in and of itself. And what do I mean by that? Maybe miracle is a wrong word, because miracle has positive connotations. But I can tell you that, and I could speak on behalf of millions of Israelis, that on October 7th, when I was searching within my neshama, within my soul, for something to grasp onto, I said to myself, if there's any silver lining here, there is no way in any wild hypothetical scenario that the world doesn't stand with Israel now. That doesn't make any sense. So this whole war defies logic. It makes no sense. It's crazy.